Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has warned his people that Russia will launch a full-scale offensive in the country's east in the coming days. In the north, the extent of the devastation and brutality of Russia's invasion is still being uncovered. The ABC's Sean Rubenstein-Dunlop reports from the village of Lukashivka on the outskirts of Chernihiv.
Valentina Bobir has finally been able to make the difficult journey to see her mother. After 6 weeks of darkness, they're reunited. Don't cry, her mother says. They're not shelling anymore, right? No, says her daughter. Thank God it's all right now. Valentina has come from Chernihiv. The ruined city is only 10 kilometres from her mother's village of Lukashivka, but it was cut off by near constant bombing.
We couldn't reach our relatives. We could hear that the village was shelled, but couldn't check how they were. And they could see that Chernihiv was also shelled and couldn't call us. Imagine what it was like.
This farming village was occupied by Russian forces. Its fields are now scarred by weeks of fierce battles.
A bomb hit here. Thank God we were in the cellar. When we came out, we couldn't see our house, just smoke and dust.
The violence against civilians here was indiscriminate. Cluster bombs sent carnage in all directions. Alexandra Movpan lived through World War II. Before this war started, she could walk, but that may as well have been another era. Her family carried her each day to their cellar for shelter.
Every day, around 10 soldiers came to our house with their machine guns cocked. Not even soldiers, beasts. The first thing they did, they cut the tyres of the cars so we couldn't escape.
This church was the base for Russian forces. It became the site of atrocities. Locals say some civilians were stripped and tortured.
They
took my son-in-law, my grandson, and a 19-year-old wounded Ukrainian soldier to their headquarters in the church. They bound their eyes and hands and interrogated and beat them, and then they killed the soldier.
Even the cattle were slaughtered.
After the Russians retreated, the bodies of scores of their comrades were found inside this church. And now Ukrainian authorities have found more bodies in here, which they say show gruesome evidence of torture.
More evidence for Ukrainian prosecutors who say they're investigating at least 5,000 cases of alleged war crimes. These villages are windows into Russia's vicious tactics and signs of suffering to come for the people of the East. In war, little is sacred. Humanity is sacrificed to this unholy mess. Sean Rubenstein-Dunlop, ABC News, Lukashivka.